Outside now, it's 46.
Hawkfanatic is brought to you by Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek Boulevard in Iowa City. Steve Anderson and his talented crew at Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car and Supple's Building and Remodeling. 1-800-800-ROSE and Hawkeye Courier. The Midtown Family Restaurants, 1 and 2. Harty and Stocker Jewelers in downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dream Sports Academy in North Liberty. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. Hit a deer, call Premier. The Oxyoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes and his staff at Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting in for Tom Suter, Tommy Lang.
I'm in the Suter seat today.
And sitting in for Pat Harty, Pat Harty.
One of my jobs today is if we talk about Michigan State, I'm supposed to get really indignant.
Oh, yeah.
About Tom Izzo being on the court.
Yeah,
I'm going to start shaking visibly.
You have to visibly get angry.
Yes.
At Tom Izzo and his potential of being on the court 40 minutes of the game.
I was in the other room on Wednesday's show, in the newsroom, just listening on the radio. I could hear in his voice.
Yeah,
it was cracking with anger.
That's why I bring it up now.
Good. As you should.
Just to tick him off.
I've done it like 3 times in the last couple of weeks.
Yes. I've never seen him get visibly angry about something.
Yeah, he's got a point. It isn't fair for him to be on the court and everybody else gets.
But it's Izzo. But it's Izzo.
Izzo.
They're doing really well, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Won 4 in a row and 5 of 6 or something.
I think they're 14-3.
I know they won on kind of that mid-court shot there at the end.
That was crazy. I was watching that.
They're kind of look like one of those Final Four teams.
They are, but they're also, to me, though, kind of team that could lose in the first round if they can't shoot.
Yeah.
There's times where they can't shoot, but no, they've got a lot of depth.
They're starting to gel.
It'll be interesting. I mean, Iowa has to play them this coming week, the final home game.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be like a Licklider game and something so ugly they win it.
It'll be interesting to see because Michigan State, they play Michigan, I believe, next, and then they're at Iowa. I'm not sure who they close with, but yeah, right now they're in first place, and that was
Michigan.
And that was. I think that was against Maryland. The half shot was against Maryland. Yeah, and it was at Maryland too. So that's a significant win because Maryland was 11-5 going into that game. So I mean, obviously 2 teams that are already in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, Michigan State both 14-3.
And because Michigan won last night on a last-second 3. They beat Rutgers, who's now 7-11, I believe.
Rutgers is on the edge of being not getting in.
They're trying to say to Iowa and Minnesota, hey, let us in. Let us in. Iowa, I think Washington and Penn State, to me, are done. I think they're the 2 that are in. Or out. They're the 2 that are out. They're in the bottom 3, I think. And I know it's not completely mathematical yet, but it's close. And then it's between Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota, and maybe Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. 5 teams have 11 losses. Rutgers 7-11. Iowa, Minnesota, Northwestern, and USC are all 6-11.
And Iowa could easily lose all 3.
Well, tonight's game's huge then.
To me, tonight's their best chance for a win.
Yeah, at Northwestern, 8
o'clock.
o'clock.
I got a weird feeling that they're going to win.
Well,
that doesn't mean anything because I'm often wrong.
Well, that would be pretty good because it'd be 1 game up and they'd have the tiebreaker, right?
Because they'd have a 2-game win over. Now, they wouldn't have the tiebreaker against USC.
No.
They would have the tiebreaker against Rutgers. Who else? They wouldn't have the tiebreaker against Minnesota. Remember, they lost to Minnesota at home. That one, man, if they had just won that game, I mean, that's one is the real killer amongst all their losses. So, but no, tonight's huge. I just wish it started late, and it's FS1, so it's not 8. It'll be about 8:12 when it starts. I love Friday night 8:12.
They do those triple headers now because they can put one of the games on the West Coast there at like 10:15 or something.
You go if you're those students, you leave there about 10:15. You head right out to the Evanston bars. Perfect timing.
Absolutely.
10:15, 10:30 is usually when it started, and sometimes even later than that.
Considering the 2 teams, 10 o'clock on a Friday night seems about, or 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
I think it could be a good game, but I just think Iowa matches up well. Both teams are missing. Iowa's going to have Thelwell's going to give it another go tonight. Fran sounded a little more optimistic, but remember, this will be the 3rd time he's tried to play since he was injured, and it's just hopefully he'll be close to 100% tonight because they need him. But Northwestern's without 2 key starters, including its best player, Barnheiser. So, I mean, it's a short-handed Northwestern team. That's why it's amazing what they've been able to do, to win by 21 at Ohio State and then to win by 13 at Minnesota.
They've won 2 in a row.
2 in a row on the road. But I still think Iowa's going to win for some reason. I just think Iowa's fast-paced style Northwestern doesn't handle it very well at times. I mean, Iowa beat them 80-79. Now it took a freakish shot by Dix that was executed perfectly to win the game. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
30-footer.
Way early in the season.
Yeah, it was way early. 30-footer, a fadeaway.
I was there for that one.
And it was. I mean, they executed it perfectly.
Was that the last time Suter was in Vegas?
I believe so. Yes.
It was. It's the same season.
Yeah,
he's there again.
Well, he was talking like it was a drought. Like like the town missed him. It's been so long.
I said to him, I haven't been there in a while. He goes, I was there in November.
He's like, we got to get back there, though. That's what he was saying. I got to get back there. It's like his heroin.
I've only seen a picture of them eating at some diner or something.
Yeah, they haven't really.
The photo
Are they there? Are they already there?
Yes.
Oh, when did they leave?
Yesterday morning.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. No, you'll get the pints and the stuff starting this afternoon.
I think so.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
They're seeing Hart this weekend at one of the hotels or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I can't remember what night, but they're going to go see Harty.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Paying big money for that. But
do you think they're going to get more excited about the 70s like Barracuda and Magic Man, or more like all I want to do is make love to you?
I think 70s for sure.
I think it'd be funny if Izzo happened to be there and he goes out on stage during the concert.
Yeah,
they ask Izzo
He's
to come
on stage all the time.
They ask Izzo to come out on stage because they're big Tom Izzo fans.
They do a couple of Zeppelin songs. I'm sure that'll freak.
Oh,
them
they
out.
did Now, like we said Wednesday, they had a lot of help, but no, her voice was perfect doing Stairway to Heaven. You guys have seen that, the Kennedy Center.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and I've seen it multiple times because I love watching the reaction of the three Zeps. I mean, Jimmy Page just looked so humbled and honored that they were playing that song so well. And then when that second, they already had the choir of the women. And then the men's choir came up later. They lifted the curtain, and Zeppelin didn't know that was coming because remember they were on Letterman the next day,
right?
And the next show, and that was hilarious because Dave asked if he could be in the band because they'd been hanging out so much lately. John Paul Jones, no. And Robert Plant's like, that's why we have him sitting next to you so he could tell. Because it was a fun interview though. I mean, that was God to think that was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
2012.
Is that movie in theaters around here yet?
It's in Cedar Rapids, I know.
Is it?
I believe it's in one theater in Cedar Rapids, I was told.
I saw they're releasing Pompeii, the Pink Floyd movies coming back out on IMAX.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's boring.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's okay. But I guess when I saw it, I was like 14. I mean, that's from 1970.
Is it a concert film? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they show them. It's the one where they show how the stage goes from nothing but luggage and stuff, and all of a sudden isn't that the one?
I think
and
so.
they're playing like out like
by the pyramids.
By the pyramids, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was some of their real psychedelic stuff. A little bit too much for me. You know, it's not like you're going to hear Money and.
So in the days when see Emily play and stuff, David Gilmour wasn't in the band.
It was not. No, that was Sid Barrett.
Okay.
And that I like See Emily
It's
play.
more Piper at the Gates of Dawn kind of stuff.
And Saucer Full of Secrets.
Yeah.
That's the Floyd. That was just a little bit out of there for me. Once they did Dark Side, and then that led to Wish You Were Here, which led to Animals, then they were on a roll. That's when I bought in.
Yeah.
Those three albums right there, three of the greatest albums ever. And I love the Final Cut, too.
Yeah.
The Wall, I thought it was a little overrated, The Wall. I mean, I remember they're life-changing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Midnight Movie. Let's go to the Midnight Movie.
I mean, no album is freaking life-changing. I mean, that's like when you see some kid commits and somebody in the media, well, this is life program changing.
Well, that was the Cade McNamara story. Remember?
Program changing.
Yeah,
that's
program changing. It did change the program.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Pink Floyd, Point of Order from Makey. Pompeii was recorded at Pompeii.
Yes.
I believe.
What year?
Not by the pyramids, in the actual Pompeii amphitheater.
Okay.
Well, is it the one though where the album cover has the luggage all stocked together, their band equipment, and then they show how
they never released an album for it. It was a movie.
Okay, what am I getting this? Well, what am I getting that? Because I've seen the movie, and wouldn't you agree though? There's a lot of long instrumental psychedelic.
It's that metal era.
Yes.
It's right before they were recording Dark Side of the
Yes,
Moon.
that's
so
yes.
It was metal, not meaning METEL, metal the album, MEDD.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
It was
Echoes.
after Sid was gone and Gilmour obviously was in full swing, but it was a lot of instrumentals. It was stuff like careful with that Axugene
Yes.
and, things such as that.
And didn't they do? I know Echoes is long to begin with, but wasn't on that movie? Isn't Echoes
The
like
opening track.
And isn't it literally like an hour?
Well, it's like 20 minutes.
Okay.
It feels like an hour.
Well, it's 23 minutes on the album I have. I've got the Echoes album, and it's long. So,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if it's people, if you're going to listen to it and you think you're going to hear, like, Dark Side of the Moon, it's a little different than that. That's what I was trying to say. This gentleman said it much better.
Tom Makey
Well, no,
from
it's
KFMH.
also a matter of that the recording, I mean, it's going to be IMAX, so the sound's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
they
if you're a
remastered it.
fan
Oh, yeah,
of that,
yeah.
You're Floyd. It'll be a good. I would recommend it. I'm probably going to go.
Oh, no, I want to check it out. Wouldn't you say it was sort of a bridge from Sid Barrett to David Gilmour? That
For sure.
particular music there?
For sure.
Okay, that's kind of how I look at it.
But they don't do any of that CMLE play. They don't do any of the
No.
Spirit era stuff. Well, they do, I think, Set to the Controls to the Heart of the Sun, which Sid was around for that, I think, but
Yeah.
didn't sing on it, obviously. But anyway.
Yeah, no. Okay, well, no, thank you. Appreciate the
Now,
insight.
boys.
Tom,
Have a good
people,
day.
people don't know
Goodbye.
Tom Makey. Oh, he's going away. Tom
does-
Makey's from our sister station, 99 Plus KFMH, and I wanted him to plug his show this Sunday. Isn't
Yes,
this
I was
Sunday?
just going to mention
Yeah.
that.
Well, you just plugged it for him.
Well, he does a show on Sunday mornings, and every year when they do it's
The Rock and Roll
award
Hall of
season,
Fame
yeah,
nominations.
he does a show of members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that should be in there but have not been nominated.
Oh, okay.
So the snub show is what
The
it's
snub
called.
show.
I see.
Yeah.
And
So
and
you're-
rants about why it shouldn't be called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So you hear
and
Little Feet, probably. some
rants about who shouldn't be in there.
Warren Zevon, bunch of other.
Yeah, I can't believe Little Feet and Warren Zevon aren't in the.
Yeah.
When you figure who is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of how I
Sunday
look at it.
morning at what, 9?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yep.
But no,
on the
he
press.
obviously knows his Floyd. But yeah, Echoes. It's really kind of the psychedelic. Because if you heard Tommy, if you heard really early Pink Floyd, you wouldn't even recognize it.
No,
You know,
I have
it's-
heard it, and
I mean, people.
it does sound
That sounds more like the Dave Clark Five. I mean, some of the
Yeah,
really.
like
I mean, or
Arnold
some of those.
Layne and-
Yeah, some of those really early English bands that came over. It doesn't. There's not the instrumentals and it's amazing now how Gilmour got there, how different they became.
Well, in the Moody Blues, when they first started, they were just
Yeah.
a 60s British rock band.
Yeah, they were, and they were sort of a softer version of Pink Floyd.
Yeah, and then they went into this whole Days of Future Past and all
They'd
that
all
stuff.
wear the same outfit.
Sounds like our high school broadcast. When Gilmore got there, it all changed.
Yes.
Yep. No, actually, it's. And then Roger Waters, of course, says, I don't know, maybe he's never changed. Maybe he's always been this person.
Yeah.
But now he's got more time to be this person.
And the internet to spread it.
True, that's true.
Hello.
So the Led Zeppelin movie's not showing up in Cedar Rapids anymore.
Oh, it's not? Was it already
The only
there?
place you can see it with Marcus now is in their bigger IMAX theaters. That's the only place they're showing it, and that's mainly up in Wisconsin.
Well, that's okay, because wasn't it showing in Cedar Rapids for like a week or so?
Yeah, it didn't last long because it wasn't well attended. According to the manager up there, said it wasn't.
Really?
A lot of people weren't there.
Yeah,
So
one of
they-
the Saturday
they
mornings I was
decided
filling
to
in, we
drop it.
read off the times. It was going to be like two. There were like 2 show times on
So
Saturday.
I'm just curious, do these places let people know that they're going to be did they?
I didn't hear, but I had to look it up.
I didn't hear anything about it. I mean, sometimes you want to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would have driven. Don't you think if they had it like here in Iowa City, don't you think it would be?
I would think so, yeah.
Well attended.
You would think somewhere in Iowa City would show it because there's a lot of interest in.
Well, selfishly, that
I
means
know.
it'll be on stream sooner than later, right?
That's true.
Probably, yeah.
So I'll be able to watch it at home here in probably a month or so.
You can actually now stream a Complete Unknown. The Dylan biopic is available
Okay.
online now.
That's interesting that it didn't draw up in Cedar Rapids.
Thanks for the
Do you
call.
have a favorite Led Zeppelin?
What's that?
Do you have a favorite song by them?
It'd be too hard. I could name like 8. Ramble on.
Well, if you got stuck on a
Over-
desert island and you had one song,
Just
that's gonna
one
play
song
over
from
and over
Led
again,
Zeppelin?
what's
Oh,
it gonna
God.
be?
Over the Hills, Far Away, Ramble On, Fool in the Rain. Thank You. God, that would be really hard. When the Levee Breaks, Cashmere.
Is this the Colbert questionnaire? One song to listen to?
I
forever?
would maybe be. It would maybe be Over the Hills and Far Away. Maybe.
That's a good song.
That's a good.
You know, because it's.
Cashmere is the ringtone
Yeah, but
of
if
my
you're
phone.
out somewhere by yourself after a while, that'd get a little haunting, a little. Oh man, but Over the Hills is inspiring, and I love his guitar work in that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Cashmere. Like I said, it's the ringtone on my phone. I love that song.
Oh, cool.
I can listen to that over and over again.
Cool.
Yeah, and Dire Maker, that's another one, but that's one, after a while, that would get a little bit too much because it's such a unique sound to it. But
I can listen to the guitar solo break in Whole Lot of Love for a million years.
Yeah, but there's parts of it that would wear on you if that's the only song you're listening to.
I would put up with it just for that.
I do like the jam in Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah.
I don't recall you ever seeing Type. Did you ever get to see him live?
No, I did not. I was trying to, and then he died. I was a sophomore in high school. They were going to be in Minneapolis as part of their tour.
Yeah, they were going to be at Chicago
yeah,
Stadium.
And I was a sophomore, and my parents didn't know that I was trying to arrange a trip there.
Is that when they stopped touring then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were done. I mean, the moment he died in September of '80, they were done.
Okay. I don't have the history like you do on him.
They released a statement shortly.
I don't know their history quite as well.
Well, they released a statement shortly after saying we can't see ourselves carrying on without our drummer. It was really amazing. Most bands don't do that.
No, usually grab somebody and continue.
Yeah, just keep grinding.
Get the cash.
I mean, the Stones certainly did.
Sorry. The only other one I've ever heard of that's done something like that is Rush.
Yeah.
When Neil Peart passed away, that they just said, that's it, we're not touring anymore. They did do like a little bit with all the guys from South Park when they were celebrating their anniversary.
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I was never a huge Rush fan, but every time I watch them live, they're impressive. And now the only difference is, weren't they a little bit more advanced in age?
They were just only the last 5 years,
and there were only 3 of them.
Not that I'm minimizing what they did.
Yeah.
No, they had a much longer career before.
I mean, the thing that was incredible about Zeppelin is those guys did that in their 30s.
Yeah, it was like over within 10 years.
Yeah, they were a band from '69 to basically '79.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yep.
And look at the amount of music, the great music they put out.
Yeah. And Robert Plant continues. And Jimmy Page put out the soundtrack for Death Wish 3, and I'm guessing that is the pinnacle of his life.
I still have the copy of that.
The Death Wish 3, baby.
Yeah.
The multiracial gang that was going after. I mean, it was so funny. You had like the Backstreet Boys team together, like NW. It was just the strangest gang.
It was brutal to watch.
It was one of the worst movies ever. Bronson was just picking up a paycheck for that one. And how the gang's bullets never seemed to hit them.
Never.
They'd have machine guns, and Vincent and Bronson would shoot one and take out 3 guys with one bullet. With Jimmy Page's music jamming in the background.
All right. Well, hey, you guys have a good day. Back to the Hawks.
Thanks.
All right, yeah.
We'll get them eventually.
Reminded me of when I saw Bohemian Rhapsody in the theater, and I was like, they never showed the part where they recorded the soundtrack to Flash Gordon. I was like, why wasn't that part of the movie?
Yeah, really.
I guess it wasn't important to the character.
Now, I have seen Robert Plant in concert before.
I have not.
Really?
When the solo album Lullaby and the Ceaseless Roar came out,
I actually have that.
a ticket to see.
I've got 3 of his albums,
see him in Chicago.
One with Alison Krauss,
Yes,
which is a good
great.
album.
And they did ramble on, and the place went absolutely bonkers. Hello.
That would be another one of my.
Hello. I hate to take away you from your music.
No. Let's go.
Carr's got to get us back on track.
I was wondering, aren't they having the Fever game here for the Iowa fans to see the Fever?
You would think so, right?
So how come the first choice was the Fever fans were to get the Fever season fans were to get the best tickets? They already have tickets up in their own place. They can see them there. So they pushed the other fans, the Iowa fans, way up in the other areas, and then they let companies buy out tickets so they can sell them for $500 to $2,000, and nobody around Iowa really gets much to see the game.
Did you? Well, it's
I
not.
got a ticket.
Oh, you
I
did?
was lucky, but I had a friend from Cedar Rapids come down because he thought, well, he'll never get it by calling on the phone or anything like that, and he forgot about online. He got in line, and he said, just as he got up to the window, they put a sign, sold out.
That sucks.
And he had been waiting for a whole hour.
That sucks.
Well, we need someone to blame, don't we? Obviously, isn't that kind of where you're going, Karn? I blame this all on Caitlin.
I do. Yeah,
This is Caitlin's
She
fault.
should have been in
I
charge of
blame
this.
this on to somebody.
She's just drawing too much interest, and I mean, it's she's
but I just think it's a shame that this was supposed to be for Iowa fans who don't go to Indianapolis.
Well, who's saying?
to see the
I mean,
game,
and
and
who's,
then yet they let the
Karn,
Fever people get in there.
well, who's saying it was supposed to be for? I mean, I'm not denying, but I don't. I mean,
Well, why would you have it here?
To make some money.
well, I think obviously to make money, but I think yes, you're doing this to show thanks to Iowa fans, but I don't think they planned on doing it at the expense of their fans, it looks like. I do think that they should have given Iowa more access to this, but, I mean, they have their reasons, and I'm not sure what it is. But
well, most of the reasons is money.
Well, of course it is. That's what everything is. I mean, that's why there's not 3 teams going to the big.
This whole world is money. This is a Trump world.
Getting angry and political.
Wow.
What about Izzo on the court?
Yeah, what about Izzo on the court?
Are you that angry? Are you Izzo on the court
What
angry?
pisses you off more, Trump or Izzo?
Yeah, that's what it is. Everybody go for money. Forget about anything else.
Yep, I blame it on Izzo and Caitlin.
It's like Bernie Sanders on the phone with us.
No, Izzo, Caitlin, and Trump.
Yeah.
Those 3?
Yeah.
I think that covers it all.
Well, I know there were people mad because the public thought they'd get a chance today, and boy, forget that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
my
feel
sister's
bad
gonna
for your
buy him.
friend that drove down. That's unfortunate. I mean,
It is.
it's not a good look if that's. I mean, so
Well, here's my question: your friend, is he like a season ticket holder then, or?
Yes, he'd been a season
Okay.
ticket holder for 30 years.
I was going to say because that's the only people who could buy yesterday were season ticket holders and the Kinnick Club people.
Yeah.
Or Kinnick Society, whatever.
it sold out in 42 minutes.
Yeah.
I saw that. I mean, just so many tweets.
Well,
on it.
and the people that were this guy told me, he said a lot of people were still in line
I
over
imagine,
at
sure.
at the building.
I do miss the days of like concert tickets where you'd actually line
mean,
up
that-
and camp out.
And people, some wouldn't get tickets
Yeah.
sometimes. I remember. Yeah, that's the phenomenon that she is, though. I mean, this is crazy.
Well, and then you come in line and you're standing there for an hour, and all of a sudden they put the sign up sold out. Kind of made them really mad. They were all yakking when they were going out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Oh, you don't want to see him yak.
Yeah. She's like Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's my complaint.
All right,
for
well,
the day.
they voiced it.
Well, thank you, Karn, for your frustration.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean,
No, that is.
It
that's
sounds like it
frustrating.
could have been handled better. Some of the
Well, it
ticket
sounds
stuff.
like they maybe should have thought of the Iowa fans a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
you're having. But do we know the breakdown? Like what percentage is Iowa fans?
No,
what
I
is
haven't
Indi-
seen anything
I haven't
like
seen.
that.
I haven't
I don't
looked
know.
into it. But the way Karn made it sound like it's going to be surrounded by a bunch of. I can't imagine why a bunch of thousands of Indiana Fever fans would drive here
They
when
won't.
they're going
Buy
to
them and sell them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So then Iowa fans will end up buying tickets from Indiana Fever fans for twice
A
as
lot much more. Yeah, probably.
Well,
That's
that
what
ain't
happened.
really good either for
No, it
Iowa
ain't.
fans.
No.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons. Remember where Homer's like second in line for Super Bowl tickets, and the guy in front of him buys 60,000 tickets.
That's right. Well, you were limited to 4 here.
Yes.
And we were told that if you tried to order more 4 online, it would kick you out and send you to the back of the queue.
Yeah.
And that's how many 4 for the Fever game too, wasn't it?
Right, 4 for the Fever Day. That's
So
right.
did Ann and Tom get them?
I don't know. I
I'm
haven't
assuming
heard.
they did.
Well, they were traveling, so they were probably on their phones.
Oh,
trying
I
to get
bet you they
tickets.
did. They're season ticket holders too, so
Yeah.
I'm sure. And so's Karn, so they're priority.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm wondering if a bunch of folks that are Fever people that had priority, why wouldn't they buy tickets to resell them?
Well, that's what you're right.
We went
yeah.
on last night, and the cheapest ticket we could find for one single seat was $4.85.
Yeah.
If you want a group of three people together, the tickets were over $1,000 each.
No, you're right, and that's what we were just saying. But I agree. That's still not very good for Iowa fans. I kind of feel bad for Iowa
No,
fans.
it sucks for us Iowa fans, but
Yeah.
you can see what's going on
Yes.
with the resale market. Is
Money.
Someone's going, hey, great, I can pay for all next season's tickets for Fever game by selling it to some Iowa person.
Well, that's what some Iowa people were going to do, was buy them and sell them and buy their season tickets for Iowa women's basketball next year.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
thanks.
hopefully they'll have enough of a demand that maybe it will actually have another few games up here.
Oh, that
That'd
could
be
be.
nice.
I could see them doing one at Wells Fargo,
Yeah.
her hometown. But I like the
Yeah.
fact that they're doing this one in Iowa City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's and it speaks to the fact that there's still a lot of inertia, especially with the women's team doing well right now. So
Oh
it's-
yeah, and as
it's
great
good
as
all around in a way.
Caitlin was at Dowling, she was better at Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she was better in college than she was in high school, and she was incredible in high school.
Yeah.
See you guys. Bye.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
But yeah, no, there's Indiana Fever fans. I mean, what do you what did they go for? Was it $250 each? What
It was
up to 270, I think.
pre-sale tickets, depending on seat location, $60 to $200.
Okay, so let's
for
say
the people who could buy them yesterday.
let's say you got the best ones for $200. So you spent $400 for 2 of them. You could easily turn around and sell those for $1,000.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and make $600-700 easily, just like that.
Yeah, and just again, like I said,
But
pay
again,
for season tickets for
the
next year.
Iowa fans are the ones that get screwed.
You could afford eggs for the rest of the year with that.
Yeah.
Well, I assume the people buying the scalp tickets are also Iowa fans, but it's the people who just want to go and pay the regular price
And they'll
bring their families.
Yeah.
You should go to the
big
game,
kids.
and I want your first question to Kate. Hey, Caitlin, great game. It's great having you here, but do you ever feel bad that fans are paying so much to watch you play? I wonder what she'd say. Because she's addressed. I'm kidding, of course. She's addressed it before, though. I mean, it is incredible what people are willing to spend.
Then I'll ask her about Tom Izzo on the court.
Izzo on the court, and then we asked her who she would fill Kinnick with, and I can't remember who she said. Do you?
I don't remember.
Was
it
it
country
Drake?
artist?
No, I don't think it was country.
No, you're right. I think
Was it Drake?
It might have been. I can't remember. It was because
That doesn't age well.
We had her on
Should
twice.
have said herself.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, at the time, and see, we had her on going into it was early in her junior year. We had her on.
Yeah.
Her senior year, you couldn't. I mean, they basically had a fixed schedule when she met with the Iowa media, which is at least once or twice a week. I'm not saying they shielded her or anything, but they had to take steps because if they would have made her, she never would have had a free
And
moment.
the WNBA people are starting to get interested and want to talk to her, and I get it.
Well, yeah, hell, she got criticized for not doing the 3-point shooting contest at the men's All-Star
Did
game.
you see the guy who wrote the article saying she ruined the All-Star weekend by not participating?
She wants to save her debut in that for the women's game. Why should it be her responsibility to help a league that's already paying their players millions more than her league gets paid? I mean, I didn't understand that criticism at all. I thought that was unfair.
Yeah.
I respect her she could have easily gone there and hogged the spotlight and built her legend and whatever, but she's saving it for the women's league, and I respect that.
That's very nice.
There you go.
By the way, I had this rant on social media yesterday. I'll carry it on to
About
the show.
Izzo?
No, but I can work one of those up too. There were people who didn't get tickets, or season ticket holders who didn't get in, and they were saying, "Well, these Iowa fans who sold their tickets, they should be banned from Carver, no longer allowed to buy tickets." And I'm thinking, you mean the people who paid $10,000 a year to donate $10,000 a year? The Kinnick Society people are going to ban them for scalping a ticket?
Yeah.
No, they ain't getting banned.
That's the problem with social media. Sometimes you don't think before you
Ban them all.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of that.
everything's
yesterday.
cancel culture now.
Yeah.
Ban, get rid of, eliminate, owning somebody on X.
Yeah.
I've owned you. If you end up blocking me, that means I owned you. I see that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
From these accounts.
Yeah, like they win if you block them from.
And then you see their account.
dick.
Christian lives his life through Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, he's just got. Yeah, I mean, it's some of it is so bizarre.
You remember that play in the World Series this fall where that guy stole the ball from the guy?
Yeah, the guy grabbed him.
Yeah. So he's been banned from all Major League Baseball games for life. And his reaction was, "I'm just a decent guy who did a really stupid thing." And that's probably right.
Yeah, I mean,
Alcohol is probably a
does-
factor.
So he's banned for life because he took a ball from who?
One of the Mets.
Yeah, wasn't it? They're trying to field the foul ball, but it's
Yeah.
right at the next to the stands, and he grabbed him.
Yeah,
and-
they've made it pretty clear fan interference. If you deliver, you're gonna get banned.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And sometimes alcohol it's hard to resist. I imagine.
Oh, Jamie Pollard says they're all fat slobs if you're drinking beer at the game. Did you see that press conference?
I did not, but
Jamie Pollard had a news conference earlier this week, and somebody asked him. No, it was a meet and greet, and that's a great idea, by the way. At Iowa State, they do these forums where like a head, like the president or Jamie Pollard, like the athletic director, goes to like their version of the IMU and gets like a ballroom there, and the students come in and can ask any question they want.
Well, like an
kind
open
of an open forum. Yeah.
Iowa doesn't do that.
And if they do, they don't promote it very well.
No,
I think they do something like that.
because they don't want people like me covering it.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. So they're doing this, and somebody asked about serving, why aren't you selling alcohol at the games? And he said, you don't want some fat slob behind you. You always go to the game and there's some fat slob spilling beer on your back, ruining the time. If you need to have beer to enjoy the game, you shouldn't be at the game.
They'll be selling beer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually surprised they're not. I didn't realize they weren't.
But I just like the inference that people who drink beer at games are fat slobs.
I mean, it's to the point now where I guess you can applaud the moral standing or whatever they're taking,
Yeah.
but I mean, to me it seems a little silly, and that's not good to say that about your own fans.
Well, and people buying $8 beers aren't spilling them and getting hammered on them.
they're
no,
not.
no, they're doing no. I mean, yeah, they're not.
If they are, they are.
And I think they're even more,
Maybe if Suitors had a couple of Izzos on the court.
Yeah,
yes,
maybe.
but they're also more than $8, aren't
Throws
they?
his beer can.
Yeah, they're more like 10.
They're like 12. I thought the beers
Are
were
they
like
12?
12.50.
I don't
or
buy
something.
beer anymore. I wouldn't know.
But they're 16-ounce cans, I think.
Okay.
I think they're 16-ounce.
Tall boys, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're like They're more than $8, I believe. I could be wrong, but either way, $8 ain't cheap either.
You think Suter would throw an $8 or $12 beer at Izzo if he's on the court?
No, that's not a good look for Jamie Pollard. I don't think.
No, it's not. He's kind of getting roasted for
You'd
it.
never see Barta. I know Barta had his faults, but you'd never see him saying something like that.
No.
But Jamie Pollard's also pretty active. He likes to troll on Twitter.
Yeah, he is a different kind of character than whoever.
Than what Iowa has here. I mean, Beth Getz is on Twitter, but it's strictly a complimentary, informative type thing.
And
she's not up there dropping Twitter bombs and what have you.
And she's extremely accessible at events.
She'd be more likely to do one of those forums than previous ADs would.
I was at the Bruce Herald open forum. Remember Bruce Herald?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had the open forum, and boy, it was they were shouting him down and protesting and telling him to resign even before he'd even started. Basically,
Here's Jamie Pollard.
That was the last one I think they ever had.
I've got Jamie Pollard's quote from the Iowa State Daily. The stadium's not set up for it. If you think the lines are long today and the concourses get blocked by people now, add beer to it, and you're not walking through it. My second reason is behavioral issues. I got to see what our police department deals with post-game. People are slobs. People are fat-out slobs. And that's without selling alcohol. So you call their fans slobs.
Nice.
Well, and the thing is, he's acknowledging that they're already drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's...
Oh, and number 3 is I'm not convinced the people that buy our seats in the stadium actually really want it. They don't want the drunk slob behind them spilling beer on them because they've not had their first beer ever. I don't believe that at all. Everybody going to Iowa State games are teetotalers.
No, I'm guessing a lot of those people in that stadium have alcohol in their system when they're in. I mean,
Then he said it's the president's call anyway.
But if they can get away, if they don't think they need the revenue, I mean, to me, it's just throwing away revenue. And things haven't gotten worse at Iowa City since they started.
No,
it really hasn't at all.
I haven't noticed. It's not like it's not Altamont or Woodstock or whatever. I mean,
Woodstock 2020.
What
was one?
People walking in with pool cues swinging at each other.
I mean, it really hasn't changed.
Was it Woodstock 30, the one with all the rioting and stuff?
Yes, yeah, it was great. Peace and love, my ass.
And Altamont was the Hells Angels killing the guy
Yeah.
for rushing the stage.
Yeah.
That's a price to pay for rush. But didn't he supposedly have a knife or what?
He had a gun.
A gun. He had a gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was. I'll never forget.
Rolling
that.
Stones concert, right?
Yes, it was a Rolling Stone. God, was that like 1967?
1969, right after
69,
Woodstock,
okay.
and that was the way they were going to end the year with their tour with a free
And
concert.
they hired the Hells Angels.
And the
as
Hells
security.
Angels showed up, and yeah, that wasn't good.
Well, they didn't just. They were hired as
Yes.
security, weren't they?
They basically paid him in beer. That's all they
Yeah.
paid.
Beer and knuckles.
Yeah.
Well, the guy got stabbed to death, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in the back, and apparently there was some hassle going on, and his girl was getting hassled, so he pulled a gun out of his waistband,
And that was
they just took him down.
He was done, and that was. I remember studying about that as a kid, because when it happened, I was 4 or 5. You weren't even.
I wasn't even born yet.
You weren't even born yet.
Well, in the PBS station in Chicago, when it first started, they ran that movie like every day.
Well, that's kind of a dark moment for the Stones.
Well, it's
too.
a dark, yeah. The movie itself
Not
is
that they had anything to do with it.
is okay because it talks about them trying to set
Yeah, and
up the
I've seen
show,
that,
and
yeah.
there's footage from Madison Square Garden when they played Thanksgiving weekend from the Get Your Yeah-Yeahs Out album and stuff, and everything, and they're just kind of goofing around. But then the day of the show, it turns dark very quickly.
Yeah. 69, 68, 69, yeah. Those.
My first concert tragedy I remember was The Who in Cincinnati.
I remember that.
Yeah. Great episode of WKRP.
It
about
was.
that.
They all rushed and got crushed, right?
Yeah, they were all
'cause
rushed
the
because it was
general-
stadium seating or festival seating.
Yeah, and then didn't
General
that
admission.
lead to changes in how
They should have done that for this Indiana Fever game, festival seating. You just buy your tickets at the door and rush into your seat.
We would have lost Karn for sure.
Card would have been caught. I don't know. She'd be out there smacking people,
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
with a pool cue.
She'd fight her on her own. I'd take her.
But yeah, I do. That happened in Cincinnati in 79, 78?
Yep. Riverfront Stadium.
Because I do remember changes to concert venues.
Was it? I thought it was an indoor venue.
Yeah, Riverfront Stadium where the Reds played.
I thought it was an indoor stadium.
It was an indoor stadium at the time.
Oh, okay. Where the
It
Reds
was?
played?
Well, yeah, it was a dome.
No, Riverfront Stadium was never a dome, I don't believe.
Okay.
We're
looking it up.
No,
Google it.
You're right.
I don't think it was ever a dome.
No.
You know how expensive it would be to make it a dome and then not make it a dome? I mean,
well, they did. They built a new park since
but it was in Cincinnati. I thought I thought it was more
Riverfront Coliseum.
Coliseum, okay.
Yeah,
It's an indoor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now known as the Heritage Bank Center.
Okay.
That's
My
still,
guess
they
is
still use that building.
Do they use it for basketball games and stuff?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
But no, I remember that, and they started to change how they concerts are handled and what have you. Because didn't like 11 or 12 people?
Yeah.
They got crushed. They suffocated, right?
They got crushed in the stampede.
11 people. Yeah. Didn't think we'd talk about that today on the Hawkfanatic segment, did you?
What a way to go! What a weird way to die.
Yeah,
no kidding.
I mean, you go from from this euphoria, you go to see your band. It was the Who, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Who.
Yeah.
And they didn't know about it till the end.
They didn't.
No, they weren't told until the show was over.
So they still played the show.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Would they do that now?
No, there's no way.
I don't think they would play a show now. Would they if 11 people got trampled to death prior to the show?
I wouldn't think so. Didn't somebody get hurt at like a Taylor Swift show that was kind of like that? They got crushed. I don't know if they died, but I thought that was in the news a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wasn't and yeah.
Well, and you see these soccer stadiums.
Yeah.
Never had that problem at Licklider games.
I mean, no. Well, you see it through soccer stadiums. Sometimes though, it's
there's
massive
100,000 people.
Yeah.
And you've seen like walls collapse, and it's amazing. But
now there's rioting. There's mayhem.
Yes.
Those games.
Yes.
People bringing like torches in there. How do you sneak the torch into the soccer game?
Good question.
I don't know.
I don't think they have to sneak them in. I think it's encouraged. Self-defense.
Like the old stories I hear about Kinnick in the 70s where you could just bring in a pony keg.
But now back to, I think tonight's game, even though it's 8 o'clock on Friday, it will be, I think there'll be a decent crowd. It's a really neat arena. Since it's remodeled, it's one of the neater ones. It only holds 7,000, but their students seem to be still engaged in this team. So it'll be a decent environment in there as far as home court. It'll be interesting to see how many Iowa fans are there, because I think there'll be a few. And
spend the weekend in Chicago.
I'm looking forward to the game. I just wish it wasn't at 8.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only one saying that. 8 o'clock's bad, but especially on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And like I said, that game won't get over to probably 10:15, 10:30. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a long.
At least you don't have to come in tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But
I'm not betting on me staying up for the whole thing, but I'm going to try.
Well, I have to.
I will.
Because we don't have anyone there. And it'll be interesting to see how many media goes over there. I think only a couple went over to the Illinois game. The thing, I wanted to go to this one until I saw it was when I saw 8 o'clock, it just defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Because what time would you be done out there? Probably.
Well, out there, see, if I watch it on TV, which I'll do, and I'll keep stats and I'll write
Sure.
I'll get, especially if they win, I'll be able to get stuff off of TV right away, get a couple quotes if they win. If not, I can get something really quick radio. Whereas if I was there, I'd have to wait for Fran and the players to do all that stuff. Probably I wouldn't get something up till probably an hour and a half after the game. She's talking 11:30.
So and then driving home that night or staying overnight?
I probably would try to drive home that night. It would depend. See, God, I used to do that stuff in my sleep. Now I don't do it, and I don't know. It would have been how tired I am, because there were lots of times when I would make it all the way home from Northwestern after covering a game, but. It seems like there's a lot more 8 o'clock games now than there used to be back in the 90s and 2000s when I went to all the games.
Because there's so many games that they played and so many they want to televise.
But I remember one time driving to Purdue all in one day. I spent 10 hours in the car. The game was like at 6 o'clock our time. I remember I got there like an hour and a half before the game, went to the game, covered it at 6, and then got home at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I remember doing that all in one day, and I'm like, God.
There's a lot of trips to Chicago I take when I visit family that I spend more time in the car than I do with them.
Yeah.
Considering the round trip.
Hell, I remember going to the Maryland game, basketball. I think this was Lick. They played Maryland in the Big Ten ACC, landed like 3 hours before tip-off, went 8, covered the game, went back to the hotel, flew out the next morning. I was home by 9. I don't think I was there for even 12 hours. I was home back in Cedar Rapids because my flight was like at 5:50 in the morning. I think I was back in CR like around 9.
Wow.
9 or 10. Yeah, I used to. But, yeah, I don't do that much anymore because now it's just so different. They give you video. It's a lot easier to cover games from home on the road. We go to all the games at Kinnick, and we go to most of the football road games. We still go to most of those but basketball, there's just too many.
Yeah.
And even the newspapers don't go to all the games anymore.
Yeah. We do the same thing with the news now because most of the stuff is streamed online.
Well, they played that East Coast trip. I don't think even the Register, I know the Gazette didn't go. I don't think there was any Iowa media out on those back-to-back Rutgers Maryland games, and I don't think there was any media. I know there was no media out for the 2 games in LA. It's expensive.
Well, sure it is.
Especially when there's so many road games, and you got the post them. Covering basketball is really expensive, or it can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine trying to do that now with the West Coast trips and then going to Oregon and Washington and LA.
It would have been interesting, like the peak of the Press Citizen when that was doing okay, mid-90s or. if the Big Ten was set up, if they would have had me, because I covered everything. I remember one week covering Penn State football. Next week I was out in Oregon covering Oregon football in '94. Press Citizen went to everything.
Yeah,
it would. I bet we would have then, but yeah, now it's just
TV stations used to send a camera crew to all these games.
Well, plus there was no post game video or audio. There wasn't Zoom. It was just a completely different era now, and but no, I'm guessing a decent crowd here tonight. Plus 7,000. It doesn't take much to fill that arena. But it's a good arena when it's rocking. But I still, for some reason, think Iowa's going to win.
Well,
and if I'm wrong, I won't have to admit it till Monday. Oh, we're gonna have Haluska on Monday at 9:15.
And then we're
gonna have an Iowa athlete of some sort on Wednesday.
Now, keep in mind that Monday and Wednesday we have to be done by 10 because we got basketball.
Yeah, I think we're going to have the Iowa athlete at 9:30. I believe.
Okay.
And if there's a conflict, if we're only on for an hour, it won't be that. So that's Wednesday.
Monday morning at 10 is Liberty. Wednesday morning at 10 is Regina.
Yeah, Haluska's coming on at 9:15, so we'll have him on from like 9:15.
Yeah, that'll be the show.
Okay, cool.
That'll be the show.
But we usually have him on for somewhere about a half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll work.
That'll be perfect.
Well, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Listen to Hawkfanatic on the Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Your life is always changing, and a lot of things can affect how and what you save. So a good retirement plan changes with your life. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. So start a conversation today. Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far. For information locally, call 338-3799 or 866-217-2369 or stop by 501 12th Avenue, Suite 201, Coralville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC.
This is Leah Pesha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out, but maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Check out the best source for your Iowa City area high school sports coverage. Go to yourprepsports.com. Hi, this is Pat Harty. City High, West High, Liberty High, Regina, West Branch, Solon, Clear Creek, Amanic. Your Prep Sports has all the boys and girls high school sports you crave. You'll get free, in-depth reporting from dedicated sports journalists on your favorite teams: football, basketball, golf, volleyball, track, softball, and baseball seasons. Profiles, pictures, video, and more. Get in on the action. Go to yourprepsports.com today and spread the word.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
There's a problem here in eastern Iowa. There's not enough Hawkeye fans. I mean, really, shouldn't everybody be a Hawkeye fan? Well, maybe not, but you should be a fan of my team at Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson, and my team of experts at Hawkeye Title and Settlement know what they're doing. Call us at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen, bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Hello, this is Bill Leixnering from the Oxyoke Inn, inviting you to a place where you have your choice of 4 portion sizes. And when you order our famous family style, you can take your leftovers home. To a place where you can make reservations online at oxyokeinn.com or by calling and speaking to a person at the Oxyoke. A place where, compared to a hotel, our private banquet rooms are very affordable. But most important, our fresh food is prepared to order, and our servers have a passion for serving you. At the Oxyoke, we've been practicing since 1940, serving daily with a brunch buffet on Sundays. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana, where you'll always leave happy.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Mostly sunny and unseasonably mild today, with highs reaching 60. But we're battling a brutal wind, pulling out of the northwest, sustained at 30 miles per hour with gusts nearing 50. We're in a wind advisory until 6 o'clock, and also a red flag warning. As temperatures crash cold tonight, below freezing to the low 20s, we stay stuck to the mid-30s tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 49.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
And Hawkfanatic is back on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Tommy Lang, Pat Harty.
No Tom Suter.
No Tom
He's
Suter.
in Vegas.
Tom Suter is in Vegas.
Yeah. Now, this is our last show since we don't have a show tomorrow because Suter's in Vegas.
Correct.
Before Senior Day for the Iowa women. We were just talking off the air how they had a meet with the media kind of thing yesterday, and it was all the seniors and Jan Jensen. And there were like 5 different videos that I could download.
And you could see the whole thing on Hawkfanatic right now.
Oh,
right,
cool.
I think it may be I know it was one of 4 or 5 content items we posted yesterday. But yeah, it's got a short little read into it, and it's got Jan and the 5 players all in one video. Because Iowa, they put that stuff out 45 minutes after those press conferences did. And I've said it before, it's so bizarre that so many people take their own video of something that's up on the Iowa 45 minutes after it's over.
Yeah,
right?
and they record it from their phone, so the audio is worse.
Well, now these guys are using tripods. You got this group of tripod guys. I call them the tripods.
Oh, really?
They've got their own tripods with camera, and they're shooting their own video of the video that I was shooting and posting 45 minutes after the So I call them the
It's like War of the Worlds.
I call them the tripods.
Yeah.
It is sort of. You got the law. You know what a tripod is.
Yeah. I know what it
Sounds like a band, doesn't it? The Tripods.
Yeah.
I think there was an Alice in Chains album called Tripod.
I was not familiar with them. Didn't their lead singer die?
Yeah, Lane Staley. Yeah.
He died a miserable death. He's in my Death of Rock and Roll Stars.
I think it was a heroin overdose.
It was something. Yeah, it was not good.
No.
Not that there's, I mean, how about this Gene Hackman thing? Isn't that?
That's weird.
The gas company said they don't see any signs of carbon monoxide.
No, and they said that
it looked like he fell.
He was mummified too. They said so.
Well, they
He's been
said
dead for a
they'd
while.
been for weeks.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So they didn't do a welfare check until somebody said, "Hey, we haven't seen Gina for a
She
while."
was like not much older than me.
No, she's in her mid-60s.
Well, two of the dogs were alive, so weeks they found some way to survive, I guess.
Well, the one was in a cage, wasn't it?
One
Couldn't-
died, yeah.
The one in a cage, it couldn't probably get out
That's
and
what I'm
fend
guessing.
for itself. What a sad story.
They said one was in a bathroom where the wife was.
Yeah.
And she was. And this is another thing. They said that there were pills on the floor.
Yeah,
and
it's-
maybe the dog ate one of the, maybe more.
Well, the one that died was supposedly locked in a cage. I think.
Yeah, it was in like
and they think it was died from malnourishment.
like a kennel or something, yeah.
Either way, it's just. I mean, you lived a great life, 95, but man, you just don't want.
That's
this-
not how you want it to end.
You just don't want this to be part of his legacy now, which based on especially once we find out what really happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
And when he retired, he retired.
Any movie he was in, man, it was
Made it
just
better.
lights out.
Yep.
Mississippi Burning,
That's
he was
so
great.
great.
That scene where they're drinking beers and
Yeah.
don't go mistaking me for, you S kicker. I mean, God, I was like, yeah. That was great, Gene
Of course,
Hackman.
Justin Roberts brings up his favorite is from Young Frankenstein.
Yes,
I forgot he was in that.
I did not like that movie.
He had like the one scene.
I know.
It was a he was playing tennis with Gene Wilder, and Gene Wilder was telling him about the movie, and he said, "You think Mel Brooks would let me in? I'd love to do a comedy." And
Well,
of course,
that scene was on Twitter all day. I saw
I'm sure it was.
That movie just never worked for me. I don't know what it was. Wasn't that Peter Boyle as
Peter Boyle
Frankenstein?
is the Frankenstein monster. Yeah.
From Frankenstein to Frank Barone.
Yeah.
he was a buddy of John Lennon's.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad though when you see these guys. Gene Hackman was such a big part of growing up.
Oh, yeah.
The 70s, 80s, he was just always there making movies that. He was great in Unforgiven. I hated his character in Unforgiven, but he was great.
I think that was the point of the character.
Yes. Yeah, but and then I didn't watch The French Connection, of course, when it came out. I was 6, but when I finally watched it in junior high, I loved it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and that car scene, I didn't realize how many laws they broke. That thing was
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, that car at the end, that was a car just driving that they broke every law in the book to make that scene. But man, one of the greatest car chase scenes ever.
Well, he's in Bonnie and Clyde. It was
Yes.
one of the
Well,
first
that's kind of
movies.
his big break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing I ever saw him in, I think, was probably Superman. It's
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
And he was
great.
He was great in that
Yeah,
character.
he was great.
Yeah, no, he was.
Somebody, well, who was it that, I think it was Ben Stiller. He told a story about how he was doing a movie with him, and he couldn't wait to tell him what a game changer he was for him. And he says, the Poseidon Adventure was the movie he just loved Gene Hackman, and he says, that inspired me to get into acting. And Hackman goes, yeah, that was a money job.
Shelley Winters.
Yeah, Shelley
This
Winters.
was Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember watching that as a kid. That came out. Remember those earthquake movies with
That was
Charlton Heston?
that was one of the first
Asteroid.
Those all came out in the 70s.
Yeah, one of the first all-star disaster
Ernest
movies.
Borgnine.
Well, Airport was the first one, and then the Poseidon Adventure, and then there was the Towering Inferno.
Lloyd Bridges was great he was great in Airport.
Wasn't OJ in the Towering Inferno?
Yes.
Or Airplane.
Yeah.
Lloyd
Yeah,
Bridges
Airplane
was great in Airplane. He was great in Airplane. I love that. I love that
It's
movie.
so great when you see guys like that.
Barbara Billingsley's character
Yeah,
in the
just-
Airplane.
I speak jive.
Yeah.
Just breaking you're so used to them some way, and they come out and break out.
Yeah, Lloyd Bridges. I mean, he made me laugh that whole. It was just
yeah.
hilarious. I mean, it was the stuff he said, and then Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen wasn't a comedic actor when he
No, he
took
was.
that role,
He
was he?
took the
No, he was he would often play the villain.
Yeah, he was like a gangster.
He was a
or
villain in like
crook or
3
something.
Cannon episodes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And very serious.
What was that? Shirley, don't call me Shirley. What was that line? You surely aren't serious or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, don't. That was funny.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar telling the little white kid to leave him alone. That was a good scene too.
Peter Graves.
Yeah, they were all funny.
Kareem was great in that.
He was great.
Just grabs a kid and starts threatening
And
him.
that was interesting too, because Kareem was kind of aloof and distant, and people were he wasn't the friendliest. That kind of showed a side of him that people I don't think realized he had. That was what Airplane came out in like mid to late 70s.
Late 70s, yeah.
Yeah, but
now, that wasn't originally supposed to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Do you know who they originally cast for that character?
Let me guess, Wilt Chamberlain?
Pete Rose.
Oh.
It was supposed to be Pete Rose, and there was some conflict or something, and they changed the filming dates or something.
I like Kareem better.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think that would have worked. I don't know about Pete Rose, how that would have worked.
No, I think, yeah, Kareem.
But Kareem was perfect.
Because he's got those big legs, he's like back there with that steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good scene. But back to the Hawks.
Back to the Hawks.
What, do you guys think they're going to win tonight? Give it your expert opinion.
No. How about that?
That's funny. I was talking to another media person yesterday, and I said that, and he's like, no. So maybe I'm the... How do I know you think they're going to win?
I really don't.
I think they've got a better chance than a lot of the games they've played recently, but...
After seeing them get smoked by Illinois, I don't think...
I mean, that's a valid...
I don't think they got any fight left in them.
Like you said, they'll probably be a good crowd there.
That's a valid argument. And I'm guessing Suter probably was thinking the same. I don't know why I'm thinking this way. I think I'm thinking this way because I still think there's one game where Dix and Sanford are going to make a bunch of crazy threes, and to me, Northwestern is maybe that kind of game. But we'll see. But you guys both bring up better points than I do. I mean, I'm not sure why I think they're going to win. I don't know. Maybe it's just my last gasp of hope for the Fran regime, because I've told you before that I think this might be it. And but that's kind of what everybody's waiting to see, how this thing plays out.
I'd like to see him prove everybody wrong. Don't
yeah,
get me wrong. I'd like to see him win out and go.
Well, I imagine if he won out, which, I mean, the only crazy part would be beating a really good, although I think it's going to be harder to win at Nebraska than I do think it is going to be to win at home against Michigan. I really do. That's Nebraska's senior day. Yeah. They're going to be playing for an NCAA tournament, either to get in or to better their seed, and that place is going to be rocking.
Yep.
It would be crazy, though. Let's say they win these 3 games, and then they win 2 games in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I think that'd be
5 wins.
Be great.
That would give them 20 wins for the season. I mean, that's a massive if.
That's a big ask.
That's just not going to happen without Owen Freeman. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they've made runs before, but they just need to win tonight. If they can win tonight and build up a little momentum to go into that Michigan State game, I mean, that's just, that's all Fran's thinking about right now. I mean, that Fran is, nobody won games at a time better than Fran other than maybe Kirk. I mean, they're the kings of the one game at a time. All that matters is, and really right now, all that matters is 8 o'clock or 8:12 tonight.
Yeah.
People in the stands sleeping in the second half. The students, like, they bring their pajamas. No, it'll be over about 10:15, 10:30. It'll be interesting to see what tempo they play at. 80-79 the first game, but Freeman was in the first game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why you guys feel that way, and maybe I'll change my mind as the game progresses.
Well, Peyton Sanford drains 2 or 3 threes in a row to start the game. You got to.
Well, I need to see how healthy Drew Thelwell is too, because he's tried to play these 2 other times, and but Fran did seem more confident that he's overcome the worst part of that injury. So that will make a big difference, though, if they can get some good minutes out of Drew. I just like to see him have some success, and I mean, I don't want them to be one of the 3 teams not to make the tournament, but if they lose out, they're probably going to not make the tournament. The thing is, though, one of those other teams could lose out too, but 2 of them have the tiebreaker over Iowa, so they got to win. They got to win. They just got to win something.
Yeah, I didn't see much of. Did you say you did see Fran's Zoom or not yesterday?
I watched it after. I wasn't on it.
Okay.
I watched it.
I didn't see any of it, but I did see the clip where somebody asked him about the only allowing 50.
Yeah, I wrote about that today.
Okay.
And sure enough, the reaction, he was responding to what Mike Rhodes, the Penn State's coach.
Yeah,
he said it's horse. You know what? Yeah, their argument is that part of the college experience is to provide opportunities for the student athletes, and I get that. I do think that's a valid argument. But when you have 18 teams in a conference, that's the risk. And it's all the thirst for television revenue, to me, is what you blame. If you have to blame somebody, because I see both sides of this. I can see the coaches, and of course, Fran agreed with him, and then the feedback from they're whining about it because they're at risk of not getting in. If they weren't, you don't see, although my guess is Izzo, if you asked Izzo, he'd probably say the same thing. All these teams need to be invited. But it's easy for the critics to say, well, they're just saying it because they're at risk of not being one of the teams. And I get it. It's unfortunate, but that's just the world we live in. And the more teams, I mean, I think these conferences want to get bigger, better. It's all bigger and better. It's all based on television revenue. Television revenue dictates everything now. So if you want to blame anything, blame that, because that's what you get when you have 18 teams in a conference. I would rather go back to the old days of having 10 Big Ten teams. You play 9 of them every year in football.
Yeah.
And then you play every team, but that's never going to happen. And I understand that it'll never happen, but there's something to be said for a 10-team conference. I just think when you get this many teams, this is what happens. I mean, you don't play some of them hardly at all, and it's chaos.
Yeah, like when the Big 12 for a while had, 8 teams, and they played a football season. You played
It
every.
used to be the Big 8.
Made that a big brag, yeah. And then they gained teams and they lost.
I mean, if
teams.
Iowa had 10 teams in the old days, you'd play 9 in football.
Yeah.
But those days are so far long gone. I get it. I mean, more the better. Let's get 24 teams. Let's build a super conference to get rid of the NCAA. That's what is slowly happening with football. They're gonna, I think, eventually detach themselves from the NCAA, have its own governing body, and we'll see what happens.
I see kind of what Fran's saying, though. Like, part of the experience is going
Yes.
to the tournament. It
Yes.
is cool to go to a town that's
And he
hosting a
brought up
tournament.
also things happen during the course of a season. He was basically talking injuries.
But you're going to put 18 teams in Indianapolis in hotels and practice time and.
Yeah, and then okay, you love giving buys to the one. What are you going to give somebody a triple buy before they play a game? I mean, it's too many teams.
And then the lower seeds would have to win, 5 games in a row to win?
It's just too many teams. Well, you have to right now.
That's true.
I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, the lower teams right now have to win 5.
Yeah.
So if you added 3 more, would that mean that wouldn't mean you'd have to win 6, would it? No, that wouldn't change it to that
I
way.
think there's to be more teams that have to play in the first round, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so yeah, and but it's just when you get this many teams, this is the stuff that happens, and it's unfortunate. But like somebody said, well, then win.
Yeah.
I mean that's I get it.
That's the solution.
That's the solution. But I mean, it's tough. I mean, but I do think right now that Washington and Penn State are almost locks, and it's going to come down to Iowa, Minnesota, and Northwestern, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it's an unusual year where it's kind of there's no great team in the Big Ten. Everybody's got 3 losses.
Well, Michigan and Michigan State
have 3.
Are 3.
And then you go down to the bottom, and nobody's got 0, 1, or 2 wins either. It's
I'm not sure there's a great
Northwestern's
team.
worse at 4, right?
Duke is showing signs of being a really good Duke team.
Oh yeah, outside of the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm not sure though if there's a great, just a juggernaut waiting like you had with UConn these last 2 years,
Right.
Especially 2 years ago, and so we'll see. But no, Duke is really showing some signs of being special. But the Big Ten, no, I think Michigan, Michigan State, Maryland. I mean, they're good teams. Wisconsin's had a great year, but I could see any of them losing the first or second round of the NCAA tournament.
Are we breaking it down enough for you there, Hunter?
I think we are.
We breaking it down?
I was just going to check our email to see if anything's breaking.
I do that too
because it happens.
Some news release from the athletic department.
It seems to happen a lot. I mean, what we have Monday was the Liddell Betts.
Yeah, Liddell Betts kind of came late in the show.
That came late in the show.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
The combine's going on right now. Rob has a really nice story up on our site about Jamari Harris, if you want to read about kind of how he was raised in Chicago and got to where he is now. It's a very interesting story.
Cool.
Got that on Hawkfanatic. And
Who is at the combine for Iowa?
Well, Jamari Harris,
obviously.
Luke Lachey. They listed the 7. Sebastian Castro, Jay Higgins. How many? That's 5. I'm not sure if I assume Caleb Johnson. Let me
go home and just start watching it just religiously all day to watch for the Hawkeyes.
Some people do.
It's on NFL Network. I mean, you can watch the whole thing.
Combine. I have no interest in the combine. I never really have.
I'm not surprised to hear
It's basically a skills competition, is it not?
It's recess.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is.
It's like a timed recess.
Get your presidential
worth millions.
Your physical fitness medal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just noticed Hawkeye football has a gold check mark.
Oh.
Elon.
Wow.
So I didn't realize I thought they had to be blue, gold for the.
I don't know what that means. That might be for an official organization or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, YA Black's there too. So that's 6. There's one other one. Luke Elkin is there. It's NFL Combine Specialist Showcase today. So, but they had a tweet a while back listing all.
I saw one of the Chicago TV stations, maybe radio or newspaper. It was a media outlet. I thought that they were going to take Caleb Johnson at some point.
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
Well, they could use a running back.
They are they are speculating that would be a great combination with their quarterback.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
It's Paul.
It's Paul.
Oh yeah, no, that's my alias. Hey, is Tom down in Florida visiting his family?
He's in Las Vegas visiting the slot machines. And
yeah,
art.
He's got a problem.
Yes, he does.
No, it's fun. Hey, I was at the library. Oh, by the way, Pat, I got Pretzel Logic I checked out.
Great album.
Yeah, I got the vinyl at home, but I don't bring vinyl down here.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's a
travel
great
well.
album. Enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. What's this Tom Izzo talk this morning? Did he do something stupid?
Yeah, he goes out on the court and it pisses Suter
It
off.
really makes Suter mad.
And he gets away with it because they're afraid of him because he's Izzo. And it upsets the other Tom.
Oh, yeah. Keedy used to do that, too.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't
Robbie
know if
Knight.
Suter was as pissed off about that.
Hey, do the women only have one regular season game left?
Yes.
Basketball?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Sunday at 3 on Peacock.
Yeah, I don't get Peacock.
Yeah, I kind of figured it.
When does the Big Ten tournament start for them?
The week after. Then the men are the week after that.
So, you recall the dates?
The pairings will come out, Sunday night then?
I believe, yes.
Yeah. So it'll probably start, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday, yeah.
Oh, next week.
Yes.
For the women, yes.
And next weekend.
The women, and then the men are the week after.
So probably,
Do we
Thursday?
have any? Do we have any chance of going even to the NIT, the men?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they win some more games, yeah.
But they'll need to do a lot. Hey.
But they ain't going to make the NCAAs, are they?
Unless they win the Big Ten tournament.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they're so up and down and inconsistent.
Well, maybe if they won out these three and then made it to the Big Ten and won 4 games in the Big Ten tournament, that'd be 7. That'd be 22 wins. Yeah, I guess if they got to the championship game of the Big Ten tournament,
Probably would get a look.
They would get a look. They would get in. But that's 7 wins in a row, and I'm not sure I see that happening.
No, out of nowhere, no.
Well, stranger things have happened.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul, I want to let you know that the Big Ten tournament is the date specifically Wednesday, March 5th through Sunday, March 9th.
That's the women.
That's the women, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be over to Okeechobee banging fish next week, so
Well,
I'll be out of the loop.
Do the fish know about this?
Hey, I heard that's illegal in Florida.
I could see banging widespread panic.
I'm not going to bang fish,
Oh,
but I'm going to catch some.
Oh, I had never heard that. I'd never heard that term before, other than to use for banging.
You guys.
Are you that good a fisherman that you definitely will be catching fish?
No response.
Okay. But you always go in with a good attitude. You're going fishing to catch fish.
And if you don't, it's a day of not working.
There you
What
go.
about crocodiles?
Oh, I've had them chase me when I'm throwing cichlids and Oscars back.
Really? I mean, they'll chase you onto the shore?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I wouldn't want to lose Paul to an alligator incident.
Do you ever like heckle them and like if you get away from them, like taunt them for not being able to catch you?
No, when I spot them, I just gently back up, and then
Okay.
I get my camera out.
Showing your respect.
There you go.
Yep.
Have you ever tried to pet one?
Yeah.
What about wrestle one? Like the old, what was it, the shark hunter? Or not shark hunter, what was his name? The
Steve Irwin?
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, the crocodile.
Crocodile hunter, yeah.
Remember when he wrestled the mascot on the ESPN commercial?
Yes, it's great.
That was great.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Crikey, that's a
I
big
miss
one.
him. I miss him.
I did too.
He was funny.
No, I did pet a great white shark once, though.
Really?
I met the band
I'm
Great
kidding.
White once.
Did you really?
Yeah, like days after the fire. They played a show in Cedar Rapids.
Wow.
It's like their first show after the fire. They didn't cancel it.
But they were in a somber mood.
They were.
Yeah.
I even asked him, can I ask you about the fire? He goes, I prefer not.
Yeah.
Our lawyers don't want us talking about it. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Paul, you ever been to a
Hey, Pat,
Great
I'm
White
gonna bring
concert
you a
before?
longboat back.
What's that?
I'm going to bring Pat a longboat back.
A longboat?
The palm leaf that curved up. I shellacked it and varnished it, and
Hey, could
it looks like a longboat. He always told me he was a longboat key boy.
For 9 months. 9 months I lived down there.
You were in paradise.
I was, but I got tired of it and it got humid.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to come home.
Yeah, it's crazy down here anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't have lived down there permanently. I was thinking about looking for newspaper jobs when I was down there, and then I'm like, nope, I'm coming home. And I came home.
There's a guy that worked at KCRG. He's up in Tallahassee doing news now.
Really?
Yeah, he was tall, and he did he wasn't the anchor or anything, but
I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his
and
name.
do things. He was tall and black-haired.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking
6
about.
years ago.
I just can't remember his name. You'd know him, Tommy. I know, I just cannot remember his name.
If I heard his name, I'd say yes.
And you'd recognize him.
Yeah, I don't know who that'd be.
And there's actually a Ference girl doing the weather down here. Probably not no relation.
Probably not.
Hey, when does spring practice start?
In the spring, I'll bet
late
you.
March.
Didn't they announce when the game was going to be? Or
they may have. I don't know.
Paul, I think we've taken up too much of your time.
Oh, yeah, I got to get home.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, maybe I thought there was a news release about scheduling the spring practice, but I haven't seen it.
Did you think that call was going to end?
It wouldn't. Well, it eventually did.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have.
Oh, Captain would have cut him off 10 minutes earlier.
But as in respect to you, Pat, I know you like those awkward silences.
Yeah, we had a few of them there.
Had probably half a dozen.
Yeah, and yeah, Captain would have just hung up on him.
Yeah,
he's done that. He's done that before. But Paul keeps coming back, man. Hey guys.
Even if he's
that's my Paul for you. What do you think? Hey guys.
Even if he doesn't, he can't listen. He's
Hey.
still calling up. Hello.
We got to find out which bar Paul goes to when he comes back. I think we ought to have like a remote.
I think his BAC is at like an .95 at all times.
Yeah.
We just got to sit down and play some euchre with Paul for about 3 or 4 hours.
There you go.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it Forrest Saunders, the guy you're thinking of?
Could be.
He moved down to Florida.
I know Forrest Saunders. I met him.
It's not who I was thinking about.
I met him at a shooting once.
Actually, no, I'm thinking of the wrong guy because the guy I was thinking about was in the Quad Cities. So
okay.
Maybe that might be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Wait a minute. Can I end with some awkward silence?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah, please
absolutely.
do.
Okay.
Isn't that a Depeche Mode song?
It's not silence if you're talking over it.
No, enjoy the silence.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. Two songs by Depeche Mode that I like.
Personal Jesus, you like that one?
No.
I like that one.
Just Can't Get Enough. I love that song. Always have. And Enjoy the Silence. Those are my two Depeche
What was
Mode
it?
songs.
Forrest. What's the last name again?
Forrest Saunders.
Saunders. Yeah, he looks at my Snapchat videos.
That sounds a little
I
creepy.
think we're Facebook friends. Well,
What kind of
follow each
videos
other.
do you put up?
Just stupid crap. Let's see. Tallahassee, Florida. Forrest Saunders. Very good.
Paul.
Yeah, I met
Paul's
him.
reconnecting us.
There was a shooting on the Pedmall at like 2 a.m. And they had a news conference like 5 on Sunday morning.
I remember that.
And it was just me and him sitting on a bench waiting for other people to show up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know I was in the right place. I'm like, well, there's Forrest Saunders from Channel 9. So we just sat and talked until somebody showed up.
Now he's down with Paul.
Now he's down with Paul.
We actually ran that on the air live.
Yes, that was the one where I think I can tell the story now. One of the basketball players was in a bar, and he got like the reaction on Snapchat, like people running and stuff, and like, man, we just saw a shooting. So I started texting, can you give me info? And he gave me what he saw. And then I said, well, can I use you as a source? He goes, don't use my name. Coach doesn't know we were out tonight. So, okay, I won't use your name.
An undisclosed professional,
Yes.
undisclosed Hawkeye athlete.
I just said witnesses told KCJJ. I didn't say that he was a particularly, prolific free throw shooter. Who might be going out to the bars at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I connected the dots.
Figure
there.
that one out.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he's in trouble anymore, so I don't care.
Nah, it's fine.
We'll be good.
Yep.
Yeah, I use that as a tip. I'm like, tell me what you saw. What happened?
Yeah, very nice.
And then I went out there like 3 hours later. They said there's a news conference like 5 a.m. on the Pedmall. Just me and Forrest Saunders just sitting on a bench shooting the S.
So did somebody get killed?
Yeah. I think somebody
How
somebody
long
got
ago
killed.
was this?
Oh, it's like 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Padaski was still here.
Padaski was still here, yeah, because he was on and doing news. You were on the air.
Yeah.
I went down there. I think we carried it live, didn't we? I just used my phone.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Steve was up. He was all right, trying to get everything coordinated. It was hilarious.
Yes. I was
Just
up.
go to Facebook Live.
I was just up all night watching like
I don't
TV
know
or
what
something.
Facebook Live is.
Getting the Hawk alerts out there and putting them on our website and stuff. Yeah. It was a while ago.
It was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
I'm just
People in the chat room are turning, by the way, on Paul.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
What are they?
Diarrhea of the mouth, doesn't know when to shut up.
Well, they called my nephew an effing moron seconds after he joined the chat room.
They also in the chat room called Karn a communist.
Well, that's
trying to control the means of ticket production.
Okay, that's overreaching, I think.
What if Karn was a communist? How great would that be?
It would be great. Paul in person is exactly like he is on the phone. He does come in once in a while.
Yeah,
he brought me a fishing magazine.
And he lingers. He just stares at you for a while. Well, I guess I better go. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought me a fishing magazine.
Really? Do you fish?
To hear, I've never.
He brought a fishing magazine, and he brought some fish that he had caught.
I fished one time with my dad and brother at a pond, and about 45 minutes, I said to my dad, "Man, this sucks." Yeah, I've never fished.
I always got bored. My parents would take.
And my dad's like, "You're right." My dad never fished. And I thought it was boring. I'm not knocking it. It was just boring.
We'd go we used to vacation in Wisconsin. We used to rent a cottage on a lake.
I know people that love it.
And at night we would go out and fish for like an
Yeah,
hour.
more power. You know, if that's your thing.
Catch a couple
It just
fish.
was never,
it was fun, you know.
It just was never my thing.
Yeah, I never got really into it. It was just kind of a distraction, something different to do.
But I know people that love it. Relaxing.
Oh, yeah.
They love
every day
the challenge of it, and they love eating what they catch. And hey,
Yeah.
if that's your thing, more power to you. I just couldn't believe how boring it was. My mind would wander. I'm one of those guys who wants to get a fish about every 5 minutes. Come on, where are you?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And it just doesn't work that way.
And then you got to go to the cleaning house.
And I'm not a big, huge fish fan anyway. I don't like to eat a lot of fish. I mean, I just never really have. And now if it's got a bunch of batter on it, it's got Long John Silver's,
Oh, yeah.
and it comes inside a Long John Silver's box, I can eat that. I love that fish.
And in stick form, I love that too.
Yeah, so, but yeah, fish as a whole, I'm usually not a big fan of. But God, Long John Silver sounds good right now, doesn't it?
I know, and we don't have one in Iowa City.
Nope.
Cedar Rapids.
But I've heard, didn't the one, you have that one way out like on William Street? Is that one?
Williams Boulevard, yeah, it's still open. They
Is it
reopened
still-
it. They had a fire.
Because it was closed for a while. Okay.
The one with the smallest ever drive-through.
It is, it is
like
tiny. It is
It's like
tiny.
those little Matchbox cars where
Yeah.
you get like the sets and they just hug the curves and stuff.
Kind of like the Panera there on Riverside.
But a couple dental appointments, I remember going to there afterwards and getting it because just don't have it.
I would get it there going to like visiting Justin Roberts and get it on the way home and then reheat it on my Pizzazz, which actually works. One of those pizza ovens, those air ovens.
Yeah.
You put it in there and it fries crispy.
Oh, those air fryers are great.
Yeah, they're great.
And oddly enough, I like their fish better than their chicken. I'm not a huge chicken fan. I love Long John's fish because of the batter.
I actually like the chicken. I'm a chicken strip
planks.
guy.
I think they're dry.
Chicken planks, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the battered chicken and the hush puppies. But no.
Well, my go-to in Cedar Rapids when I go up there for my dental appointments is Capriati's.
I've gone there a couple times.
Yeah.
I've gone there a couple times.
Slightly different fare than Long John Silver's at Capriati's.
Slightly, yes.
Yeah. No, I've done both, but every once in a while I get it. Now, I'm glad there's not a Long John Silver's or something because that's not the kind of thing you need to eat once or twice a week.
No.
But it would be tempting.
But you would.
You would, but I feel I'm enjoying it as I eat it, but rarely an hour later is it. The joy has somehow rubbed off.
Oh, and I know when I'm eating Long John Silver's within a couple of hours.
It's not going to end well.
You think Steve's in that back bathroom for a long time during the day.
I mean, you're back there dating the toilet, aren't you?
Basically, yes. I know what. Same with Subway. I know what it's going to do to me in about 2 hours.
Oh, Subway? What do you get at Subway?
Meatball sub.
Oh, okay. I don't do
like
that.
meatballs.
I get really tame stuff at Subway, but I know with Long John's, it's like a colonoscopy.
It really is.
It was a big deal when they opened it up in Coralville back in the 90s, right?
Yeah, and there was one over by the Sycamore Mall that we used to go to.
We did a remote on the old KFMH, and they were actually handing out sets of glasses, real glasses, mugs with like etchings on them, maps and stuff.
I used to go to that Long John's down there on the strip.
Yeah, where the what's there now? The rib place.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jack's. It was that same building. Mm-hmm. They renovated the building, but it's there.
Well, no, I'm talking about the one that was out in Coralville.
Oh, Coralville. Oh, that was over there.
But now what's there now? The Guild thing or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there used to be, that's the one I'm
Guildhurst.
I'm talking about that one.
I meant Sycamore Mall.
Now it's Pho.
I
or
never went
Pho.
to the one on Sycamore.
It's a Japanese, the Pho restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I used to go to the one down there on Highway 1.
Okay.
And remember, there used to be a KFC on the Strip.
Yes.
Yes.
And it just shut down, or did it burn down too?
No, it wasn't on the Strip. KFC was
It was
up
on
the
First
hill on
Avenue.
First Avenue.
It was on
But,
First Avenue.
They shut down. They shut down because we went there one day and it was just closed.
And the same thing with Arby's up there. It just all of a sudden.
Oh, Coralville Arby's is gone?
Arby's
It's
is
not there
gone.
anymore.
Perkins is still there.
Yep. Took forever to reopen.
It did take forever to reopen that Perkins.
But yeah, it's I can't believe how much it's changed over there.
Oh yeah.
Dolls used to be over there.
Yeah.
It's
the River
not there.
Landing was a dump, literally a dump.
Yes.
And it had like a strip bar.
A strip bar.
And my uncle's ice company, Harty Ice, was
I used
out
to
there.
live right over there. I used to live on 7th Avenue, not far. I remember.
Softball diamonds.
Yeah.
Well, and
Those
JC's
houses along the river.
JC's Cafe was there, and of course the Amico station that Steve and I can't remember.
You talking about the River Landing?
No, the First Avenue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They used to advertise.
Yeah.
What was
the
that
BP,
place called?
the BP Amico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canterbury Amico.
Yes. And I used
With
to get
Canterbury Inn.
Used to get my oil changed and my work done there.
Canterbury Inn had that.
Now it's the scooters.
Dining room where they had the pool with the window in the pool.
Yes.
You could see people like below the waist swimming, and that wasn't always something you wanted to see
Not
while
very
you're trying
much.
to eat.
Yeah.
Wasn't there kind of a truck stop right there on the corner, right
Yes,
before you get on
Hawkeye
the
Feed and
freeway?
Relay.
That's right. I knew a guy when I was living out there in an apartment years ago. A guy who lived across the hall worked at that place.
Yeah.
And it was like a mini truck stop, right there in the corner before you get onto the.
Yeah, and they had
interstate.
great food, and they were open 24 hours. We'd go there like 3 in the morning.
Can you believe how much it's changed?
I know.
Now there's a Trader Joe's there.
Yes.
Which is always packed.
Always.
Canterbury Inn's gone. I mean, it's. Yeah, I've got
into Rex's show.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy who only does his shopping at Trader Joe's now.
Yeah, my daughter, she drives from Davenport to shop there.
Is it cheaper than Hy-Vee?
There are some things that are, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was more of a high end kind of place.
Not
So
really.
did I.
You know, they've got the $5 bottles of wine, and they've got
$5 Chuck.
$5
they
Chuck,
call it. Yeah.
and then they got pies and stuff like that. I don't know. It's all good for you food, but I mean, when they do pastries and stuff like that, it's not processed. You know what I mean? It's pretty like kind of like Whole Foods, but more delectable.
What about the woman? Is it Oklahoma or somewhere? She was working at a grocery store and she was urinating on the produce.
Yes.
She was an employee at a grocery store somewhere.
Why was she doing that?
I don't know.
Didn't like working there.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Obviously, they had it on video, and she got caught. And
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, what was her defense?
I don't know if she had a defense.
No.
That's just
It's like I would expect that at an Aldi, but not at that place.
And how would she get away with it didn't people see her even
You would
without
think,
video?
unless it was closed at night and she did the overnight stalking or
Because
something.
I don't think you could go into Hy-Vee right now and pee on the produce and
No,
not get
well, she was an
noticed.
employee.
Well, still, employer or not, don't you think you'd get noticed?
You would
Hey,
think.
look, that employee's peeing on the carrots.
Especially a woman.
Last year, I went to get some
A little more work.
Some of their fried chicken. They have it packaged. Like in 3 packs or 4 packs with mashed potatoes and stuff. I go over there, it's in a whole container full of fried chicken. Half of it's eaten. Somebody was standing over there and just mowing on the chicken legs and then put them back in the container. It was a little gross.
Yeah, maybe we'll end
I'm going to
on
make you just ill at the end of this show.
But
That was
again,
my
tonight,
plan.
Iowa men at Northwestern, about 8:12, I think, is when it'll start. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my prediction. And if I'm wrong, I won't have to come here tomorrow and admit it. I can wait till
There you
Monday.
go.
Come up with a bunch of excuses.
We talk about the women by then, because on Monday we'll have their scores.
We'll have their score, and we'll have Haluska. And Suter will not be back.
No, he'll be still thinking about Izzo.
He'll be flying back.
Well,
on
we'll
Monday.
talk a lot about Izzo. I'll ask Adam how much it bothers him that Izzo's on the court.
Yes.
I'm guessing Adam will not be as bothered by it as I want. At some point, I want Suter to cry when he's talking about it. I want him to just break down. He gets
Well,
so.
if they win, if Michigan State wins a game,
And I think, and if Izzo, I want Izzo to spend.
Izzo's like at mid-court.
I've always said he's going to throw the opening tip.
He's going to go with a stopwatch. You watch, and he's going to time how many minutes Izzo's on the court.
That'll be when he goes back home and watches the game. With
Izzo's
us.
going to hold his post-game press conference on the court. No, it'll be fun. I'm gonna maybe I'll let Tom. I work with a guy here in radio in Iowa City. He's really upset about how much time you spend on the court. Do you care to comment on that? What do you think he'd say? He'd say something. He'd have fun with that question.
I wonder if Izzo does cameo. You get a little message for Suter.
Because Izzo's
you can record it from the middle of the court.
Izzo's got a sense of humor.
He does.
He really does have a sense of humor.
I would put together a GoFundMe to pay for that cameo.
That would be fun. So, all right, well, everybody, get out, enjoy this weather. What, 57?
Yeah, almost 60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had somebody whining to me. God, you see, it's going to get horrible. Now, 36 and 37 is not horrible.
No. But
isn't that what it's going to be?
Yeah, and it's 53 right now. So
well, we can live with 36, 37.
Yeah, for a couple of days.
I don't know what the forecast is, but Wednesday is supposed to be the first home game for Iowa baseball.
Can we look that far along?
And March 8th is, by the way, and that's indoors, isn't it, the soccer game?
Yes. Rain on Wednesday, mid-40s.
Well, if it doesn't rain, they could play mid-40s. A lot will depend on them.
It says rain and snow likely, but I don't see any snow.
Well, it would just snow at night.
I don't think it'd say likely that far out either.
No.
Well, how can it snow? Well, it'll snow at night. I mean, if it's the mid-40s, it's not going to snow. But it's too bad they couldn't have played a baseball. Although today it's awfully windy.
Yeah.
They're in Texas. They're down 0-1 already in that series.
Well, the rain's supposed to hit about noon on Tuesday and run through Wednesday.
Yeah, their pitching did not hold up well.
Well, it was bullpen day, but still.
It was bullpen day. So is Obermiller starting today?
He's starting tonight, yeah.
Okay,
or today,
yeah.
2 o'clock.
It was bullpen, but yeah, they ended up losing, what, 12-7?
12-7. They out-hit them. But they lost. They left 14 runners on base.
They're 3-4 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rick explained why they're playing. They were supposed to play a tournament up in Minneapolis, and somehow he writes this newsletter every week and he sent me a copy of it. But instead that got canceled, what have you. So they tried to figure a place to play Washington State and they found a neutral site in Texas. And I mean, it's unusual for two teams like this to play 4-game series, but it's also, I think it's kind of a good idea. I mean, it's another way to find competition. And I believe, was Washington 0-8 going into that game?
Oh, that I don't know. I didn't see their record.
Somebody said they were 0-8 going into the game.
That ain't good.
And they weren't very good last year. They were like 21-32 in their last year in the Pac-12. See, now they're not obviously in the Pac-12 anymore, but I thought somebody said they were 0-7 or 0-8. People bitching on Twitter about them losing to them. Because, the Iowa baseball bitchers, they're already out. I mean, they're out on Twitter. Some of the comments after games.
Well, that Notre Dame game, they blew. I listened to that game. 9th inning, runners on second and third, one out, ground ball, runner on third, starts running to home, then starts running back. Runner on second keeps running. Force play at first, and then they get him in a rundown.
A little league.
No score, out of the inning. Could have won the game. It was a tie game in the bottom of the 9th.
I told
they lost an extra inning.
Told Tommy this morning, Pat, that the Cubs were 1 strike away from winning 4-2, and the giant batter hit a 2-run home run and tied it up, and that's how they finished because they don't do extra innings in exhibition games. So Cubs are still undefeated. They've won 6 games and tied 2.
And I want to mention softball is in a tournament in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Woo Pig Classic.
And Big Ten and wrestling's getting ready for the Big Tens.
Yep.
Yeah, Washington State was 0-8. They're 1-8 now. Yeah, but their losses, they lost to Arkansas 3-2, 14-2, 5-2, 12-2. I think it's fair to say that Arkansas may be better than Iowa at this stage. They lost to Michigan State 9-2, UCLA 7-6.
Oh, they finally got more than 2 runs.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi 8-6, and then 8-2, and then they beat Iowa 12-7. Yeah.
Softball team's playing Arkansas a couple times in this tournament. They play Illinois, a Big Ten team, in the tournament.
They'll learn a little bit about
Sunday.
themselves with that competition.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but no, that team was 0-8 yesterday. I bet Iowa comes back and wins state. Man, I'm just a glass half full.
You
Hawkeye.
are. You're Mr. Optimist.
I'm just
Mr. Optimist.
I'm Mr. Optimist right now. I think the baseball team's going to win. I think the basketball team, men, are going to win. And of course, I think the women are going to win. And the sun's going to shine all day today.
I don't know if any of those baseball games can be viewed anywhere. I don't think they can because I saw somebody complaining about it on Twitter.
Well, Kakert's guy, who normally monitors every
that was
pitch,
it.
he basically said, "Hey, I ain't going to write anything because they're not finding a way for me to be able to see it." Yeah, it was kind of. He sounded pissed. It was kind
mad. It was like
Shooter and Izzo. It was his Izzo.
But if you want to watch softball team, if you can get SEC Plus, they're playing Arkansas on SEC Plus tomorrow at 5 or 3.
All right,
everybody, enjoy the weather.
Hawkfanatic, check it out. It is free.
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Meteorologist meteorologist, Brittany Merlot. Mostly sunny and unseasonably mild today with highs reaching 60. But we're battling a brutal wind, pulling out of the northwest, sustained at 30 miles per hour with gusts nearing 50.